father and younger brother. Growing up, I always did the right thing. My brother, on the other hand, was always a dreamer. He was so irresponsible. One day he decided he didn't want to live with us anymore and had the nerve to ask our father for his inheritance early. I couldn't believe that he had the nerve to do that, that he had so much disrespect within him. I thought my father was going to just disown him, or maybe even kill him for having such a crazy idea. But do you know what my father did? My father actually let him have his inheritance early. And my no-good brother sold a third of our land to some Gentile. And now what was ours now belonged to someone we hated. My father got a lot of grief from the community for doing that. My father was well respected in our community, but his reputation took a hit for letting my younger brother go. But as years went by, my father slowly was able to restore his honor in the community. But I could tell my father was sad, and he oftentimes sat in the front porch waiting for my younger brother to come home. As for me, I continued to work extra hard on the farm and had more to do because my no-good brother wasn't around to help. Meanwhile, I heard stories about how he was partying and wasting all our money, and that only made me angrier the more I thought about it. One day I was working in the fields and I heard a lot of noise coming from our home. It sounded like there was a lot of music and a lot of people there. Then I smelled the best smelling barbecue. Wow. I was confused though. If there's a party, how come I wasn't told about this? I'm usually in charge of setting up and organizing a party when my father throws a party for his guests. So why is there a party back home without me? Unless maybe the party's for me. Let me think about this for a little bit. You know what? That makes a lot of sense. Maybe it's a surprise and nobody told me about it. After all, I've been a faithful, dutiful son working for my father all these years. I'm the hard-working one and the responsible one. And so when my no-good brother ruined my father's reputation, I had to make sure that I wouldn't shame him. And I did everything I could to honor him. So it makes perfect sense that a party would be thrown for me after being the greatest son ever. And so when I got near home, I smelled the air once again. I could tell that the best cow was used for the feast. I saw one of my servants, and he looked really nervous. And I asked him, "So, what's going on? It sounds like there's a party. Who's the party for?" But he didn't answer. Just as I suspected. It was a surprise, and he didn't want to give it away. But I asked him again, and he finally confessed. "Well, sir, your younger brother returned, and your father asked for the fatted calf to be used for the feast." I couldn't believe my ears. What? The party's for him? The fatted calf was killed for him? I thought the party was for me. Why would my father do that? I ran to the entrance to the home with my feet stomping, my arms folded. I've never been so angry in my life. The last time I got so angry is when my brother left with all our stuff. So when I got to the entrance, the father, who was the host, greeted me. I refused his handshake. I asked, "What are you doing?" in a really loud voice. And the music stopped. The people stopped drinking and eating and stared at us for making such a commotion. Everyone started whispering, but I didn't care. And there he was, my no-good younger brother, wearing my robe, my ring, my sandals. I was turning red with anger. It's about time I get to clear the air and tell my father what I really think. I told him all the stuff I knew about my brother and how he shamed us. But now he's back. We're treating him as if he did nothing. And when I told him how faithful I was and how unfair this whole situation was, all this time my father didn't give me a goat to celebrate with my friends. And now he kills the fatted calf for this lazy, irresponsible, no good brother? That's crazy. What do you think? Would you do such a thing? But my father looked at my brother in a different way. Something about him being lost, and now we need to rejoice because he's found. And I didn't want to hear it anymore. So I left the house. And so my father left the party to talk to me, leaving his guests behind to talk to me. And he stood there patiently and pleaded with me, "Son, everything has always been yours, but we have to celebrate. Your brother who was dead is now alive." I was faced with a decision. Would I agree with my father's view of my brother, or would I stick to how I want to see my brother? Will my anger prevent me from forgiving my brother? My father has invited me to the party too, but will I accept his invitation? What do you think? What would you do if you were in my situation?